This show is about your life, how to make it better, how to make more from it, how to love deeper, how to share it with others. This journey is about connection to your dreams, with topics centering on love, money, sexuality, and energy that unites it all. This show will change your life. For years, I've coached people in easy-to-learn skills and have seen incredible changes. I'm here to teach you those skills as a coach and hopefully a new friend. Hi, I'm Kyle. Come along with me as you move along your path of life success. Welcome to the Kyle Phoenix Show.
The American dream. So, you've heard about this. Maybe even someone in your family has done it. Maybe you have relatives who have done it in different parts of the country. And you're looking at, how can I own a home? As I talked about in the last segment about condominiums, there's the Abyssinian Development Corporation, as well as you go onto the site for HUD, H-U-D, and you can find different classes that they teach around the country that sponsor grants for home ownership. Owning a home. Owning a home is just a simple thing, as we explained with a condo with a co-op, of mortgage with a bank, good credit, what your interest rate is going to be, locating a home. You can actually get pre-approved for a mortgage. So a realtor may actually ask you, well, how much you've been pre-approved for. What this actually means is you go through the process with a bank, you choose your bank, you say, hey, I want to be pre-approved for a mortgage. The bank says, you know something, we would be willing to lend you for a mortgage $200,000 based upon your work, based upon how much money you have saved, based upon your credit rating, based upon all of those things. $200,000 we feel comfortable with you at. Now, that's essentially like a $200,000 credit card that you have to go out and shop for a home. Things you want to consider in a home. You want to consider how long you're going to be in a home. You're probably not going to be in the same home forever, unless you decide you're going to be in the same home forever. So you might want to look at your first home as your starter home, that you're going to be there maybe 2 to 5 years. And then your needs are going to be greater. Maybe your job is going to move someplace else. Maybe you want to decide to move someplace else. So you want to look at your starter home. Your home, therefore, doesn't have to be a palace to start out with, because you're kind of just getting your feet wet with this. You're establishing your homeowner senses. You're establishing owning property. You're establishing building up equity. You're maybe looking at you're going to use this as a springboard to the next property. Why? This is how people use properties to springboard the next property, because your property is going to go up in value. And then actually do some renovation in it that makes it go up in value. Sometimes people actually get into flipping houses and selling houses back fast. We're just going to talk a little bit about holding a house. You're actually going to live in this house for 2 to 5 years. So you see that you can find a house for about $200,000. There are plenty of houses for sale, even in New York City, for $200,000. They're generally, though, in Staten Island, Brooklyn, Queens, or the Bronx. Because Manhattan, of course, the price is going to be a little bit higher. There are places here in Manhattan, there are houses generally further uptown in Washington Heights and Inwood, around Harlem, that you could probably find for about $300,000 all the way up to $1 million. So you really want to look at, what are you trying to do? How much house can you handle? What kind of house are you looking for? Are you looking for a multiple family house? Are you looking to become a landlord that you might be renting out the apartment below or above you to somebody else because you've decided, you know something, they can help me pay off part of this mortgage? So there are different considerations you want to look at in a house. How much space do you need in a house? Let's say you're single, or let's say you're a couple. Let's say you're 2 guys together, 2 women together, 2 a man and a woman together. That you want to look at, how much space do we really need? Because we're actually now buying the space. So you might decide, you know something, with the 2 of us, a 3-bedroom would be fine. A 3-bedroom house would be fine. Generally, houses are about 3 bedrooms. If they get smaller, kind of cottage size, and there's only 1 or 2 bedrooms, generally houses start out at a kind of a standard of 3-bedroom, because part of it is planning for 2.5 children. So there's going to be a master bedroom and 2 other bedrooms, potentially 4 children. There might even be a basement for storage, or a fully renovated basement that you can use as a family room. A great place to look, and one of the most exciting places, I think, to watch television is HGTV, a home and garden television. where they actually have television shows like Design to Sell, Buy Me, Get It Sold, What Is This House Worth, where you can kind of start seeing the jargon, the language of what homes look like, what would be appropriate for you. People who are buying My First Place, it's a great show. Property Virgins, another great show where you can start getting into the world of what does this look like. This is probably a year or so out from purchasing your first property, where you say, oh, that's what I like, oh, that's not what I like, oh, I don't want that, or I don't need that much land, or, you know, something I want a ranch level house, or, you know, I actually want an up and down stairs. These are great things that are actually, there's some great educational things for your financial future on television. So you decide what kind of house you want. Then you might want to decide what area you want the house to be in. Now remember, you're thinking about the house being for 2 to 5 years. There are even special programs for teachers, police officers, firefighters, and paramedics where the mortgage can be cut in half as long as you legally live in the house for 2 years and it's not a rental or multiple family property, that the city or the state will help you purchase a property, because one of the things they feel is that in those different careers, a teacher, a police officer, a paramedic, or a firefighter, you're going to add a stability and help to improve the neighborhood. So a house you might be looking at for $300,000 may actually only be $150,000 because you're a teacher. There are some great deals out there. Remember, just a little bit more work that it takes to become rich or wealthy. So now you're going to be in your house for 2 to 5 years, and then you're going to build up your equity in it, which is almost like, instead of your money going to a landlord, your money's now going to the bank, and part of that money is paying off the principal of your loan, so that money's always going to be accessible to you as equity. You're saving up some money, your credit's becoming better, maybe even renovate the house. Hopefully the value of the house is going up. You may have to hold your house for a while, but the value of homes generally goes up. And this is also a great market for purchasing homes really, really cheap. So this is the time when you want to look, when you want to get your eggs in line, your ducks in a line, or your eggs in a basket, and look at how can I afford a house in a year? What does it take? Because there are actually, most houses, I didn't even know this until I actually looked this up, 45% of houses are sold with 100% financing. And what that means is that you don't have to put any money down. So that if you find a home for $200,000, the bank could extend you a mortgage for $200,000. So you just move into the house, perhaps even just paying closing costs. Sometimes you don't even have to pay closing costs if you can work it out with the seller. And just move into the house and just start paying a mortgage, which would be about $1,200, $1,300, $1,400 on that. So you might actually be able to purchase a house without what you think a large balloon down payment of $5,000, $10,000, where you think it's going to take all this money to get in, where it's going to be all this hassle and work. It's a great time to start looking at purchasing a house and establishing how you're going to generate a level of being able to take care of yourself, being able to take care of your family, having some kind of value and worth financially within yourself for retirement or for your family or for college. Most people stay below middle class or keep getting knocked down because they're giving John and Mary Smith all of their money, or a large majority of their money. If you're paying 30% off of $50,000 a year, that's $15,000 a year that you're giving to John and Mary Smith to rent that apartment. How many years have you been in that apartment? How much does that add up to? How much in rent have you paid over 10 years' time of renting an apartment that maybe should have gone towards a mortgage, where you would have 10 years of that money accessible if you needed to? And that's how people generally jump from one class, middle class, to upper middle class. That they now have a house that they've been sitting on for 10 years that's worth $500,000.